All right, my friends, I am super excited for today. Let's just jump right in. So, today we're talking about brand mistakes to avoid and 3 ways of attracting more dream clients to your business. And I think this can be applicable to so many different types of businesses because everyone's got a brand. If you have a business, you have a brand. And these are just working with a ton of different clients. I see common mistakes that people make. And we're going to talk about those mistakes and how to improve those. And then ways of attracting more dream clients. And who doesn't want more dream clients in the door? Who doesn't want to work with these ideal customers? So we're going to talk about ways of attracting them to your brand and then turning them into paying customers. So this training is for you if you are feeling overwhelmed by your brand. And I totally understand it. Even as a branding designer, I get overwhelmed with my branding and doing all the things and making sure that it is cohesive and consistent and it's aligned with my goals and there's a strategy involved. It's a lot. So I totally understand being overwhelmed. And today I'm hoping to help you feel less overwhelmed and coming up with a plan for your brand. This training is for you if you want to attract more dream clients to your business. So you may feel like you're not getting the right people inquiring to work with you. You feel like you're not reaching enough people. You're not standing out in the crowd. You're just kind of, showing up and you're not seeing results. So today I want to talk about some items that you can take today to attract more of those dream clients. You also want to build a consistent, effective brand. So I did a poll recently and I felt that most of the responses for what people were struggling with in their brand was brand consistency. And with all of the different templates out there with Canva and, all the different color palettes and fonts and image stock photo sites, it can be a lot. It can be a lot to create that consistent look and experience that's going to get you that brand recognition and create that memorable brand. I always have to say memorable so slowly because it like jumbles into one word. But you want to create that brand consistency so people begin recognizing you and they begin trusting you and your brand. And this training is also for you if you're not sure where to start on improving your brand. You're like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to even begin to start improving my brand. Well, I'm going to give you some action steps today that are really going to help you in improving your brand, improving your messaging, and getting more of those dream clients in the door. All right, and before we get into the good stuff, I just want to really quickly highlight who I am, just so you know who is talking to you today. I am Alex Cook. I am the founder and lead designer of Sonrisa Studio. We are a branding design agency that works with small businesses on gaining confidence in their business, building a elevated brand experience, and really helping you attract more dream clients to your business. I am based out of Chicago, so we're in Lombard, but no one really knows Lombard, Illinois. So I always say Chicago, about 30 minutes outside of Chicago. And I have been designing for over 13 years, worked with countless different types of businesses, from an in-house graphic designer to a marketing agency. So lots of experience with different types of businesses. And I started my business 5 years ago and haven't looked back since. I absolutely love branding. I love working with businesses and solving a problem on getting more of the right people in the door, making sure that the brand and business looks its best so then the business owner can go out there and confidently sell. So that is my goal. I am a mom to a beautiful daughter named Emerson. She's a little bit bigger than she is in that photo, but it's just too darn cute to not include that. We also have a dog named Oakley, and that's my husband, Matt, as well. All right. Let's talk about the key takeaways from this training today. So the main thing I want to cover today is the common branding mistakes to avoid. So working with dozens upon dozens of clients in the past 5 years, as well as my experience before that working with a ton of businesses, I want to talk about some common branding mistakes to avoid, and that can be really hindering your marketing and hindering you from attracting those dream clients. I also want to talk about how to define your ideal customer, because that's going to be super, super important when it comes to getting those dream clients in the door. You got to know them. You got to know how to speak to them and how to attract them. So we want to define your ideal customer. We want to create effective brand messaging for your marketing and how you're going to really stand out from the crowd with your messaging. We're going to talk about tips on how to create a cohesive brand for your business, as well as developing an attract strategy for getting those dream clients in the door. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of awesome content today that's going to be super valuable to you. A lot of action items that I want you to write down. So definitely grab a pen and paper so you're ready to take notes, and just make sure you're paying attention. I will make sure to also highlight when I'm going to add an action item so that you can write that down. And I'm telling you, these are going to be super beneficial for your business. So you won't want to miss it. Okay, so let's start with the common mistakes to avoid in your business and in your branding. So the first mistake I see is that there's no plan in place for your brand. You just kind of are throwing spaghetti at the wall and hope it sticks. You're just duct taping a bunch of different elements together, and there's no clear goal for what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you are super intentional with your branding. You want to make sure that you are, everything that you're doing and putting out there is working towards your main overall goals and your overall strategy for your brand. So you want to make sure that your goals are what is going to build the foundation for your brand, because you're working towards this vision that you have of your business, and you want to make sure that the branding you're putting out there and the brand that is representing your business is aligned with that vision, or else it's just going to be a mess. So you definitely want to start with a plan for your brand, and we're going to go over a few ways that you can do that. And I have some great workbooks too if you want to dive into those and create a clear vision for your brand. Next would be, you're not understanding your ideal customer's needs. This is super important when it comes to your messaging. You want to make sure that you are communicating and building connection with your ideal customers. And the best way to do that is you understand their struggles, goals, and aspirations. And then not only do you understand their struggles, but also the emotions tied to those struggles. So that's really important, that you are paying attention to, what problems are they having? What are they facing in their day-to-day life that is a struggle for them? And how do they feel about it? How are they super overwhelmed? Are they stressed? And then you communicate with them that you understand those struggles. You understand that, and then you provide the solution. How are you communicating that you have the solution for them? How are you going to make their life easier and transform their lives? So I think that is really important. And I'm going to talk about some ways to get that information. How are you going to get your ideal customers' needs understood? How are you going to figure that out? So there's ways of doing that, and I will cover that a little bit later. Next, your messaging is not clear. And nowadays, in this very oversaturated market, everyone's online, everyone's starting new businesses, everyone's trying to grab the attention of someone else. Messaging is going to be the most important thing. I've heard this before on a few different podcasts and around, but the best copywriter is going to win. So the person who is speaking to the ideal customer, that is connecting, building those connections, those real authentic connections with your ideal customer, and clearly communicating the issues that they're facing and your solution, that is going to help you stand out from the crowd. You also want to be super clear on your offer. You want to make sure that it's clear what you offer, that people are understanding exactly what you're providing them, and you're not just listing out the features. And so the difference between the features and your offer, the features are a list of what they're going to get. So it is helpful for some people to know. So for example, for me, my branding package, I offer custom logo designs, a branding guide, a color palette, font palette, different logos, but I'm not listing, I list that on my website, but that's not the main message that I'm trying to convey. I'm trying to let people know that when you work with me to get this, with this branding package, you're going to gain confidence in your business. You're going to not feel ashamed of how your business looks. You're going to escape imposter syndrome. So all of these things are what I've learned from my ideal customer by sending out a survey. I sent out a survey, and I'm going to cover this later. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I sent out a survey and I got back exactly what they're struggling with in their business, and then the emotions around that. So they're ashamed by how their business looks. They're not confident. They feel like they have imposter syndrome all the time when they show up. So I am communicating that that is what I'm solving with my custom brand package, is that we're going to fix those problems in your business, and this is exactly how we're going to do it. So that is an example of how to be really clear on your message and talk a lot about just the transformation that you provide. And then lastly, the other common mistake that I see is your branding is just a hot mess. And there's no other better way to put this than just a hot mess. So what I mean by this is your branding is inconsistent. So you have inconsistent colors, fonts, you're just using random templates on Canva because it looked good at the time. You saw someone else doing it, and so you applied it to your own content and you're just posting it. And it's not cohesive. Your brand is not cohesive. It's just all over the place. When your brand is all over the place and a hot mess, it can appear unprofessional and untrustworthy to your ideal customers. It doesn't seem put together. And so people aren't going to necessarily trust you, and they're not going to trust you with their money. So you're losing out on that brand recognition as well. You're not creating that memorable, memorable experience. People aren't going to remember you because you keep switching it up. So they're like, they see a post and it's got different colors and fonts and a whole different look to it. Then it's not going to come up to them. The first thing they're going to think is it's not you. So you want to make that strong first impression by creating that consistent brand throughout. And an inconsistent brand is actually just making your job harder. When you come up with a Canva template and you keep changing it up every time, it's just making your life harder. So when you can create that consistency and just create a handful of templates within Canva that you just go to back and forth, it's going to save you so much time, and it's going to help build that brand recognition that you need to gain people's trust. Okay. I want to give you an example of how I look at branding, and then I think this is going to be super helpful for how you look at your own branding in your business. And who doesn't love a nice GIF in here? And I love this movie, so I thought it was perfect for this training. So I want you to think of branding like a job interview. So when you go into a job interview and let's say you just threw on some random clothes that you had laying out, your hair's a mess, and you didn't research the company, you didn't come prepared with questions, you didn't know anything about the business or the culture of the business, and you just showed up out of nowhere, no strategy in place, you're most likely not going to get the job. You're not going to appear professional, and you're going to look like a hot mess. And so that means you're probably not going to land that job. Yes, Brendan and Dale might look good in this photo, but they definitely didn't get the job because they were not prepared. So, but when you take the time to prepare for an interview, you get ready, you do your hair, you come with questions, you know the company culture, you're much more likely to land that job because you're prepared, you look good, you're ready to go. So when it comes to your branding, when you do your research and you know your target audience, you come with really helpful questions, you ask the right questions to make sure that you get the right information back. And yeah, you know your ideal customer inside and out. You appear like you got it together. Your branding looks cohesive. It's put together. It's attractive. It's professional. Then you're much more likely to make that sale because you appear professional. That first impression that someone has of your business is going to be a lot better than if you are just all over the place. Your graphics are all over the place. You aren't prepared. You don't know how to communicate with them. So I just really encourage you to take the time to make sure that you make that great first impression with your ideal customers, because that is what it's going to get you to build that trust, that know, like, and trust that you're going to need to make the sale. All right, let's move on. So if you're distracted and you're doing something else, I want you to come back to me at this point because this is one of the action items that I want you to do. So I want you to conduct a brand audit of your business. And I want you to ask yourself, does your current brand accurately portray your value? I'm going to say that again. Does your current brand accurately portray your value? And this is what I mean by this. I want you to look at your brand as an outsider. I want you to go look at your social media. I want you to look at your website. I want you to look at your web or your email, all the touch points that someone is interacting with your brand. And I want you to ask yourself, what is your first impression? what do you see as an outsider? And does it accurately portray your value? That is another hard word for me to say. So what I mean by this is your value, what you were offering, what you were bringing to the table. Like, think about how much you're asking for someone to spend on your business, and does your business allow that person to see the value with your branding? Do you look like a high-end business that is worth their hard-earned money? So your business evolves over time. You become more clear on your business. As you start your business and you work and you start knowing your ideal customer, your dream client more, you gain more insight in exactly what your transformation is of your business, the value of your business. You start to know your ideal customer more. And so you have a better understanding of who you want to work with, and the products that you offering are probably more refined, that you make tweaks along the way. So you become more and more valuable. You become more and more influential. So you want to make sure that as your business grows, that your brand is reflecting that growth. And so you want to make sure that your branding is representative of your value and what you are offering. And so with time, and yeah, sure, maybe you started off with a Canva logo or a pre-made logo, but as you continually grow, you want to make sure that you enhance your brand and your business to reflect your value and to reflect what you are offering. And yeah, if you're increasing your pricing, your brand should reflect that. And it should look like a premium service. It should be professional. It should be cohesive. Your website should look legit, or else people are not going to invest in you because they don't feel like maybe your brand is worth the investment. So that is just something that I want you to do before anything else, is to conduct a brand audit of your business. Look from the outside in and just see how someone might interpret your brand. All right, let's dive into the first way of attracting more dream clients to your business. And that is knowing who your ideal customer is. Knowing who your dream client is just essential for developing that effective brand and developing effective messaging. So it is really important to just know them inside and out. And so we're going to dive into that right now. Hello. There you go. So this really comes down to your brand messaging. And again, I want you to get out your notebook and I want you to write down these 4 questions, because this is going to be super helpful when figuring out your brand messaging and how to appeal to your ideal customer. So you want to be able to communicate their pain points and build that emotional connection with them. So I want you to ask yourself, what are their pain points? What are they? And then the second question is, what are they struggling with most? So those are 2 important questions to ask, and they're kind of interchangeable. They're kind of the same, but I just really want you to understand the struggle and the emotions around their struggle. So I gave the example of my business. So I'm going to do that again. So with branding, people are struggling with, feeling confident in their business, and they have imposter syndrome and all that. So I want to be able to appeal to my audience and let them know that I understand that is something that they are struggling with. And then my transformation is the branding. Once you work with me and we come up with a strategy for your brand and we do a custom brand design, you're going to gain more confidence. You're going to escape imposter syndrome, and you are going to not feel ashamed of your business anymore. So those are just ways of highlighting, the struggles, and then also highlighting the transformation and the emotions tied around it. And then you also want to talk about you want to define their dreams and aspirations. So what are their goals? What do they want out of life and working with you? And how are you going to solve that problem for them? So that's 4th question. How are you going to solve that problem? So I want you to write all those down. And I want you to not only write them down, but I want you to create a Google Doc. I want you to create a Google Doc that you're going to, and you can call whatever you want. I call mine Sonrisa Language. And I put all of my responses for these questions, or anytime I get a response for one of these questions, I put it in the Google Doc. So I also am asking my audience these questions all the time. So I not only ask them in the project inquiry form that they fill out when they want to work with me, as well as testimonial requests. I add, how did Sonrisa help your business? I sent out a market survey at the beginning of the year with kind of an incentive. I gave a $50 Amazon. I was giving away a $50 Amazon gift card to anyone, not everyone, to one lucky winner of someone who filled out this survey. And I got 50 responses. I mean, it was so helpful to see what people were struggling with. So I had to ask the questions, what are you struggling with most in your branding? What are your goals with your branding? And so then I got back those responses, and I have that language now. I have exactly what they are struggling with in their own words. And I just utilize their language, and I put that in my website copy, in my email copy, in my social media content. And so to help organize all that, I put it all in a Google Doc. And that Google Doc has been so beneficial for coming up with content, coming up with messaging that is effectively communicating my offer and really standing out over, other branding designers, because I spent the time to ask my audience what they're struggling with. And I have a much better understanding of what it is that they want out of working with a brand designer. What do they want out of, they're giving me this chunk of money. What transformation are they going to get? How am I making their lives and business better by working with me? So it's the magic happens when you can communicate that with them and clearly create that connection with them, and so that they know that you understand their pain points and that you have a solution for them. Okay, now the second way of attracting more dream clients to your business is to build a consistent brand experience. So I always like to say this, and I'm not the author of this statement, but I always like to say it. I don't know who is, but branding is a representation of your professionalism. So remember that job interview example? Think of the first impression that your business is making, your brand is making on your audience. So think about the ways that someone is coming in the door and getting that first impression of your business. And that could be on social media. That could be through your website. It could be through an ad. Are all of your elements, your brand elements, consistent? Do they look cohesive? Do they come off professional? And do you look like an expert? Do you look like someone who's going to be worth spending money on? So I really encourage you to take a look from an outsider's perspective on your business and make sure that it looks professional and everything is branded, from the colors to the fonts to your graphics to your image style. It's all got to go together. And so consistency is key when attracting dream clients and really converting them to paying customers. You want to build that brand recognition, and you want to not confuse people by just posting random stuff in different colors and different fonts and all of that. So you want to define your color palette. You want to use consistent font styling. You want to create a set of pre-made templates. And what I mean by this is not necessarily going on there and just using Canva templates that are already preset. I want you to create your very own branded templates. And I've got something at the end that I'm going to offer you that might solve your problem for you. But if you don't go that route, create your own brand templates. Just put your brand colors in there, set up the fonts, and then stick to it. Just reuse and repurpose those templates, and don't reinvent the wheel every time. Sure, you can gain inspiration for how other people visually represent their content or stuff like that, but make sure it's branded with your elements. Make sure that everything is cohesive, and then also your image style is also cohesive. So the images that you use are all consistent, have a similar tone and style to them. I use Squarespace, that's the website. Social Squares. I always get those two mixed up. Social Squares is my favorite. It's a membership-based stock photo site, but I absolutely love it. They have the most beautiful photos. They're all just like edited in the same tone and look and feel. So if you use any of their photos, it's going to look cohesive. So highly recommend getting on there. They just have any type of stock photo for all different types of businesses. So I highly recommend checking that out because I use them all the time. Highly recommended. The last thing is to create a brand guideline. So this is something that not a lot of business owners do, but I highly recommend it. It's going to be super beneficial. Create kind of that business brand Bible, because it's just going to be helpful to be able to look back and see your color hex codes ready to go. You have your fonts laid out. If you ever hire someone into your business to delegate tasks to, you can hand them this and they get a great picture of your business. So I actually have a brand guideline template that you can download. I also have something to offer you at the end. Okay, the last item for attracting more dream clients to your business is to create an attract strategy. So I want you to actually come up with a strategy for attracting more people. And the number one tool I always talk about, and I highly recommend any business owner, especially service-based businesses, have, is a lead magnet. So what is a lead magnet? It is free, valuable content. It could be in a form of a workbook, a mini training, a webinar, an ebook, an email challenge. But no matter what it is, it's going to be a quick and valuable win for your audience. It is something that they can exchange an email or a name for, or usually just an email. You can get their first name as well. And then you're going to provide them a free, very valuable piece of content that's going to get them a quick win. So today, free training. Here we are. This is my lead magnet, and I'm hoping that today you're going to get a few quick wins out of this. But I want you to, this is helping your audience see you as a business, your business as a solution. So I'm going to say that again. It's going to help people see your business as a solution, and they're going to start gaining trust with your business. They're going to see you they see you as the expert now. And so, yes, someone downloads your lead magnet, they complete it, and yeah, you usually want to lead them to one of your offers. But even if they don't necessarily go with that offer right away, they get part of your email list, they get part of your business ecosystem, and then they continually can interact with your business. So even though sometimes they might not convert right away, down the road, they're still going to remember you because you gave them that solution, that quick win. And so they just are gaining trust with you. They're building a relationship and establishing trust.
You also want to work in a gap in your lead magnet. You want to make sure that you are not giving your potential clients the whole kitchen sink, whatever that saying is. You don't want to overwhelm them and give them a ton of content and then a ton of tasks to do, because then they're just going to have to do those tasks before they commit to your offer. So you want to have a gap to your offer. So you want to give them some quick wins, some solutions, but then you want to make sure that you are leading them to your big paying product. You want them to get in the door and work with you to help really solve the big picture. So your lead magnet, think of it as one piece of the big puzzle, and then your big puzzle is the offer, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, so hopefully you had some aha moments during this training. Hopefully you're feeling excited and ready to jump into the action steps that I provided you. But I'm sure some of you are like, yeah, that's all great, but how do I find the time to do all this? You might be overwhelmed. You might be stressed. You're still not quite sure on how to create a consistent brand, or you're not sure how to do all the elements. Well, I am here to help you. I am ready to take your business to the next level. I'm ready to give you one on one designer support for your business and help you build that authentic brand specific for your business, specific for your ideal customer. I'm going to help you work out your strategy and your messaging really so you can attract more of those dream clients and build that connection that you need to get the sale. So, with the exclusive brand package, is more than just the logos and the colors and the typography that comes with any other branding package. This is the strategy behind your business. It is the foundation that your business is built. It's the first impression that you're making out there. So I really want you to look into this package and see if it would be a good fit for your business. I also have a bonus offer. So when you sign up for the exclusive brand package, you also get 2 reusable Canva templates of your choice. And this could be anything from social media templates, presentation designs. This could be your lead magnet. It could be the workbook or a presentation that you use. But what this does is it helps give you branded marketing assets for your business so you can get out there and promote your business with ease. So everything's going to be cohesive. It's going to be done for you. With Canva, you can easily reuse and repurpose the design. So it's just saving you a ton of time and making your life that much easier. So if you're ready to elevate your brand, I have a form for you to fill out so you can apply to make sure that we're both a good fit for each other. I am always happy to hop on a call as well if you want to go over the details of the package and how we can work together in the process. Always happy to chat. I hope you found this training helpful. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to do more of them. And please just, yeah, let me know what you think. I am really excited that you were able to get through it, that you learned something today. Hopefully, I will see you in my inbox.